Welcome to T1 Academy. In our last sessions, we discussed about ages, averages and all the concepts. So today in this session, we are going to discuss one more important concept, that is simple interest. Okay, in all the examinations, you can see a minimum of one question from this area called simple interest, students. Okay, so first we will see some important concepts, basic concepts which we should know before going to the problems and everything. Okay, now see here, interest. Interest. By seeing this word interest, what we can understand, students, when we will pay the interest to any person or to any bank, generally, when we borrow some money from a bank or a person, okay, and when we repay it, will we pay the same amount or will we pay with some additional amount? Definitely we will pay back with some more amount. So that additional amount or that whatever the money which you are paying excess than what you have borrowed, that is called as interest. So the money which you borrow, we call it as principal amount. Okay, principal amount. Next, when it comes to the amount which you pay, the money which you pay back, we will call it as amount. Okay, the money which we pay back, we call it as amount. Okay, one is principal and the other one is amount. Principal amount and the principal and the amount. Okay, now see here, students. Now between, okay, the money which you borrow we call it as principal and the money which we pay back we call it as amount. That means when this amount contains what, tell me? This amount is equal to my principal plus interest, right? Amount is equal to what? My principal plus interest. Why? Because when I repay, obviously I should pay the money which I have taken and as well as the interest on it. So from this what we can say, amount is equal to principal plus interest. Okay, sir. Along with these words, we will see some more words. What are those? Time period and rate of interest. Time period and rate of interest. What is this time period as well as rate of interest? This is very, very important for us here, students. Why? Because see here, time period means the duration for which we take the money. That means it will be started on the day one of our borrowing the money to the last day when we repay it. To the last day when we repay it. So that is called as the time period. Time period. Generally, in our subject, we will have, in our case, we will have time period in years and months. Years and months. Okay, based on the requirement, we will see, sometimes we will convert the years into months, months into years. That is next. Next, when it comes to rate of interest, what is called this rate of interest means per 100, whatever the amount which we call that as rate of interest. That means whatever the money which we will collect per 100. For example, if I say that my rate of interest is some 20% per annum, and remember one thing, in most of the cases in our subject, the rate of interest will be there per annum. So that means per annum means per 100 rupees, how much I am going to charge, that is called as rate of interest. That means if I, for example, if I take 100 rupees from a bank and the rate of interest is 20% per annum, then how much I need to repay to that bank means for every 100 rupees I need to pay 20 rupees. That means here my rate of interest will become 20 and the amount which I should repay, interest will become 20 rupees. Why? Because I borrowed just 100 rupees and the amount which I need to repay to the bank, it becomes what? 120. And similarly, for example, if I have borrowed some 1000 rupees, that means my principal is here some 1000 rupees. Then what happens here? My rate of interest, same rate of interest, for example, 20%. 1000 contains how many hundreds, students? 1000 contains how many hundreds? 10 hundreds, right? 10 hundreds. That means at the end of the duration, that means at the end of the year, I need to pay 10 into 20. What it becomes? 200 rupees. 10 into 20. So here my interest becomes 200 rupees. That means I need to repay 1200 rupees as an amount. So that means rate of interest means per 100 per annum, how much you are paying, that one is called as rate of interest. Now see here, students, most of the cases the rate of interest will be given per annum only. But in some cases, we need to find this rate of interest per month. In some special cases. For example, if my rate of interest is 18% per annum. If my rate of interest is 18% per annum, now tell me what will be my rate of interest per month? Per month. And annum means what? A year. So, a year contains how many months? 12 months. So, this will become my rate of interest per month. Rate of interest per month. That means it will become how much? 1.5 per month. 1.5% per month. Okay, if rate of interest is given per annum, and in the case of finding the rate of interest per month, what you do there is simply divide the rate of interest with 12. Why only 12? A year contains 12 months. That is the reason we will divide that with 12. Okay, so these are the terms which we see most commonly in our interest cases. Now, we will move to the actual concept. We all know what is simple interest formula. Most commonly heard formula, what it is? PTR by 100, where P is the principal, T is the time period, and R is the rate of interest. R is the rate of interest. Why? See here, principal into time period into, I told you right, rate of interest will be calculated per 100. That is the reason by 100 we will have. Okay sir, we can write like this. Now students, please observe here. Can I write the same formula? Why? Because everyone will write this formula, we will do. But we will go it in a different manner. Why? Because there will be some difficult level of problems. By using this concept, we can understand or we can solve those questions very, very easily. So what I am going to do here is, can I write this as a TR by 100 into P? Can I write this as TR by 100 into P? Yes, I can write it. Next, can I write this as TR percent of P? TR percent of P. Already our percentage concept is finished. TR by 100 means fraction it is. If I want to convert into percentage, what I can do? TR by 100 into 100, I can write it as TR percentage of principal. TR percentage of principal. So from now here onwards, instead of simple interest as PTR by 100, we are going to learn it as TR percent of principal. TR percent. What is the advantage, sir, by learning with in this model? Means there will be some questions, okay, which will be easy for us to understand as well as to solve it. Okay, now we will see some examples, students. For example, if principal is some 1200 and time period is 2 years, and rate of interest is some 15%. Rate of interest is some 15% per annum. What will be the interest calculated here? What is the simple interest on this one? Okay. So now see here, students. Generally, if I want to solve for simple interest, what I used to do? PTR by 100. This is a standard or the traditional method. What will happen here for us? 1200 into 2 into 15 by 100. 1200 into 2 into 15 by 100. 2 zeros get cancels. 12 2s are 24. 24 into 15, what it becomes? 360. Okay, that means the interest which I need to pay here is how much? 360 rupees. 360 rupees. Now, TR percentage. TR percentage means what here, students? T into R. T into R. T into R, how much it is? 30%. 30% of what? That means I need to find 30% of principal. 30% of what? 30% of principal I need to find. Here my interest is 30% of principal. Given principal is 1200. They given that principal is 1200. If principal is 1200, can I say that this principal has 100% of principal? Why? Because principal or 100% of principal both are same. Am I correct or not? Principal amount or 100% of principal both are same. Why? Because if I write it as 100%, what it becomes? 100 by 100 into P. Anyway, it becomes P only, generally. So, if 100% is 1200, what is 30% of principal? Very simple, right? What you have done here, you multiplied it with 12. Similarly, here also you multiply it with 12. 3 12s are 36 and 0. That means, what is the interest I earned here? 360. What is the interest I earned here? 360. Understood, students? Understood? In this manner, we are going to solve the problems. Okay. Anyway, this is the traditional method. I don't suggest this one. But most of the problems we will try to solve by using this concept only. Why? Because already I told you, later while solving the problems also you will come across it. This will be more effective while solving some difficult level of problems. Okay, now we will see. Next, there is one more question, something like this. One second. Let us see one more example, students. For example, a person borrowed some money, and at the end of the time duration, at the end, after 2 years, a person borrowed some money at let us assume 20% rate of interest. At 20% rate of interest, after 2 years he repaid rupees 1400. He repaid rupees 1400. What is the money he borrowed? What is the money he borrowed? What is the money he borrowed? That is the question for us. Now see here, students. He is repaying means, what does this value tells us? What is it? It is amount. Why? Because what you will repay to any person, definitely the amount. It contains both my principal as well as interest. So what they given for me here, amount is equal to 1400 rupees. Amount is equal to 1400 rupees. Now please see here, amount includes what? My principal as well as interest. Amount includes what? My principal as well as interest. Now please see here, principal is a P. What about interest, students? Tell me. Interest means a TR percentage. T is 2 years, R is 20%. TR, 2 into 20, what it becomes? 40% of principal. What it becomes? 40% of principal. Now overall this will become how much? Tell me. 140% of principal. Can I write? P means 100% of P. Already I told you. 100% of P plus 40% of P, what it becomes? 140% of P. That means my amount here is how much? 140% of P. And they are asking us what is the money he borrowed. That means he is asking us to find the value of P. P means what? 100% of P. If 140% is some 1400, what about 100%? If 140% is 1400 means what it become? Here into 10. 100% means into 10. What happens to this? 1000. That means the money which he borrowed or the principal is here 1000 rupees. The principal is here 1000 rupees. Understood, students? We are going to use this concept and this concept a lot. The same concept but different type of applications. Understood? We will not find again what is interest and all those things. Is there any necessity for us to find the interest in this case? No, it is not at all required. Okay, simply we are directly writing our required one. No need to find any other interest or subtract it from amount and do all those type of things. It is very simple. P plus I, P plus interest is what in this case? 40% of principal. P means 100% of P. 100% of P plus 40% of P, what it becomes? 140% of P. And so on. Given that amount is how much? 1400. 140% is 1400. I need to find P. P means 100% of P. 100% of P will become what? 1000. This is how we are going to solve our entire simple interest concept, students. Understood? Read the question, try to understand, and we will solve in this manner. PTR by 100, it's gone now. We are not going to use that formula at any cost. Right? Now, find the amount to be paid back on a loan of 18,000 at 5.5% per annum for 3 years. That means, what is the principal here? 18,000. He took a loan of 18,000. And rate of interest is here how much? 5.5%. Rate of interest is here 5.5%. And time period is 3 years. 3 years. And they are asking us what? Directly they are asking us the amount. They are asking us directly here amount, not interest. It is waste of calculating interest. That is the reason what I will do. Amount is equal to what happens in this case? Tell me. P plus TR percentage of P. As this is our first example, we are writing it very clearly. Please observe this one. P plus TR percentage of P. That means what happens to this? P plus, what is TR percentage of P in this case? 5.5 into 3. 5.5 into 3, what it becomes? 16.5% of P. 16.5 percentage of P. 5.5 into 3. Okay. So now what happens to this overall? 116.5 percentage of P. 116.5 percentage of P. Right? Am I correct? Why? Because P means what? 100% of P. 100% of P plus 16.5 percentage of P. What it becomes? 116.5 percentage of P. That means given what is 100% of P? P or 100% of P, both are same students. What they given for us? 18,000. Now what happens to 116.5 percentage of P? What is happening here? Into 180, right? 100 into 180 is 18,000. Similarly, here also multiply it with 180. What you will get? 1165 into 18, right? I have multiplied only 8. So what happens to this? 0, 4, 5, 3, 52. Next 1, 3, 9. And what it becomes? 1165. So 0, 7, 9, 0, 1. That means you need to repay how much amount? 20,970. 20,970. 20,970 is the money which he need to repay here. See here students, if you go with the traditional method, generally what we will do is, initially we will find the interest, that is PTR by 100. By substituting in this, what it becomes? 18,000 into time period is 5.5 into 3 by 100. 2 zeros get cancelled. So here you will get 180 into 16.5. You will get some approximately 2,970. You will get 2,970. 2,970. So plus amount, right? They asked us. So once again, principal plus interest. What you will get? 18,000 plus 2,970. It becomes what? 20,970. This is the process you should know. But what happens here is, if you practice in this model, no need to write these many steps. Actually speaking, as I am explaining, I am writing each and every step, but generally by seeing this, okay, this interest is 16.5 percentage. So my amount will become how much? 116.5 percentage. Directly I will write that amount is equal to 116.5 percentage. And given 100 percentage is how much? 18,000. And 116.5 percentage is how much? Directly I will calculate this one. That's it. I will not write all these things in my examination hall. Why? Because our examination is completely based on objective type. So we don't require the process or anything. We just require the answer. So we should be quick. So if you learn in this manner with minimal steps, we will get the answer. Here there is no requirement of finding the interest. Directly we find the amount. Okay. Next one. Now see here. Find the interest to be paid on a loan of 6,000 at 5% per annum per year for 5 years. Now per annum or per year, both are same. Now what is the rate of, how much they are asking us to find the interest. Directly TR percentage. What is T here? 5. What is R here? 5. 5 5 is 25. That means my interest here is 25 percentage of 6,000. 25 percentage of 6,000. It will be my interest here. So 25 percentage means what? We already know. We already done with the percentage. So 1 by 4 into 6,000. So what it becomes? 1,500. So the interest which we need to pay here is how much? 1,500 rupees. 1,500 rupees. Very quickly we will get the answer, students. Why? Because by reading the question itself we can find the TR, right? TR means just a product. Am I correct? So we will get the answers very quickly. If you are good in percentages, so please do watch our percentage videos also, students. Why? Because there we discuss each and every concept of percentages very in a detailed manner. Okay. If you go through that video, you can easily understand these things very quickly. Okay. Write the next one. A sum fetched a total simple interest of rupees 3,200. Here interest is how much? 3,200. Okay, good, superb. At the rate of 6.25% per annum in 4 years. In 4 years. Tell me what is the interest which I should get if we based on these two things. Interest is equal to what? Generally TR percentage of principal, right? What is time period here? 4 years, and rate of interest is 6.25. 4 into 6.25, it becomes how much? 25. Am I correct? 4 into 6 4s are how much? 24. 0.25 into 4, it is 1. So that means what? Interest is equal to here 25% of principal. And they are asking us what is the sum? What is the sum? See, interest is how much? 3200. Sum means here in this case it is nothing but principal, students. It is nothing but principal amount. So what happens to this one? They given that 25% of principal is how much? 3200. 25% of principal is how much? 3200. Then they are asking us what is 100% of principal? 100% of principal. See, you can find the relation either in this way or in this way. In this case, for me it is easy to identify this relation, right? What it is? 25 4s are 100. Similarly, multiply this with 4. What happens to this? 12,800. 12,800. So, my interest here is, that means the principal amount which here is 12,800. 12,800. Understood, students? Is it clear for everyone? This is the method of finding the interest. TR percentage. TR percentage. We will use this logic from now onwards. Next one. Saksham borrowed certain sum of money at simple interest at the rate of 5% per annum for the first 3 years. Okay. For 3 years, what is the rate of interest we will have? 5% per annum. What is the rate of interest we will have? We are saying 5%. Okay, 9% per annum for next 5 years. For next 5 years means for 5 years, what is the rate of interest he is collecting? 9% per annum. And 15% per annum for the period beyond 8 years. Okay. If the total interest paid by him at the end of 12 years, see, beyond 8 years and 12 years, between these two, how many years the time difference is there, students? 4 years, right? So that means for 4 years. For 4 years. See, already for 3 plus 5, what it becomes? 8. Overall, he is paying at the end of how many years? 12 years. That means 8 plus 4 will become 12, right? Like that also. What is the rate of interest he is collecting? Okay. He is paying 15% per annum. Okay. If the total interest paid by him at the end of 12 years is rupees 4,800. Now see here, students. What actually our interest means what? TR percentage, right? So what is TR percentage in this case? 3 5s are 15% of P. This is the interest he will pay for first 3 years. Next for 5 years, 9 5s are 45% of P. This is the interest he will pay for next 5 years. And 15 4s are what it becomes? 60. That means what is the interest he will pay? 60% of principal. Okay. Now what is the total interest you need to pay? Tell me. 15 plus 45, it is 60. 60 plus 60, what it is? 120% of principal. That means you need to pay 120% of principal as our interest in this case. Given how much interest he is paying? 4,800. That means 120% is equal to what? 4,800. 120% is equal to what? 4,800. And they are asking how much he borrowed means principal. Principal or 100% of principal, both are same, right? So 12 4s are 48 and 1 0 is there, 1 0 and 0, right? So similarly here also multiply it with 40, what it becomes? 4,000 for us here. What it becomes? 4,000. Understood? Very simple, very simple. If you are really good in this area, else what you need to do is, you need to do with PTR by 100 plus PTR by 100 plus PTR by 100, and it looks very lengthy. Instead of that, this is very, very easy. And students, one more thing. If you are able to identify it, 120% is equal to 4,800 and 100% is equal to what? If you were able to identify the relation, good. If not, simply take this one as x and cross multiply this. Okay, if you are able to identify the logic, it is good. You should identify that also. Why? Because it will save a lot of time. If not, take this as x and cross multiply it. What it becomes? 120 into x is equal to 100 into 4,800. Okay, then also 0 0 get cancels. 12 ones are 12 40s and x value will become what? 4,000. Don't write once again this 120 to that side and don't waste your time in doing all those type of things. Okay, right. Next one. In how many years the simple interest obtained on rupees 8,000 at 3% per annum will be equal to simple interest on 6,000 at, okay, 4% for 5 years. For 5 years. See, there are two cases. First one is 8,000 and 3%, and we don't know years, it is some x years. Now next case is what? it should be equal to what? 6,000 at 4% for 5 years. What he is asking us is, in how many years the interest earned on this one will be equal to interest earned on this one. That is the case, right? Interest earned on this one will be equal to interest earned on this one. So what is the interest? See, here I cannot find the interest. Why? Because I have x. So I can find the interest in this case, right? What is the interest here? 4 into 5. What it is? 20%. 20% of 6,000. See, 10% is 600, right? See, in this 6,000, if I want to find a 10%, what I will do? I will put simply a decimal point before the units digit. Correct? So here how much I need to find? 20%. So 10% is 600, 20% will become how much? 1200. That means the interest earned here will become how much? 1200. Interest earned here will become how much? 1200. Now what happens to this one? Interest earned in this concept will be 3x percentage of 8,000. 3x percentage. Why? Because TR means what here? 3 into x. That is 3x percentage of 8,000. See, in this case, we can do it in different ways. In two ways we can do, students. What it is? Please observe. Please observe, students. In two ways, I will tell you. That first one is the general method. You can write this as 3x by 100 into 8,000 is equal to 1200. Okay. So, 2 zeros you can cancel. 0, 0 you can cancel. 8 ones, 8 15s you can cancel. 3 ones, 3 5s. So, what x will become what here? 5 years. X becomes what here? 5 years. This is one method. The other method is, see here, 3x percentage of 800 is 8,000 is 1200, right? Okay. Now, 12,000 is what percentage of 8,000? 1200 is what percentage of 8,000? You can find that one also. See, 1200 is what percentage of 8,000? So, 1200 is equal to some value you can write. 1200 is some 15% of 8,000. 1200 is 15% of 8,000. So, next what it becomes? You can write it as this 1200. Already we know this 1200 is equal to what? 3x percentage of 8,000. 3x percentage of 8,000 is equal to 15% of 8,000. Okay. Now 3x is equal to what I can write directly? 15, and 3 ones are 3 5s are, x is equal to 5 years. But what happens here is, for this you require a lot of practice to understand this one. Okay, 1200 I am writing it as 1200 I am writing this one as 15% of 8,000. 15% of 8,000. Okay, it requires a lot of practice. No worries, you can go with this one, the standard method. 3x by 100 into 8,000 is equal to 1200, and you can cancel it and you will get the answer. Okay, understood, students? We can get the answer in both the ways. Right, next one. How much time will it take for a amount of rupees 450 to yield 81 as interest at 4.5% per annum of simple interest? See, what is the principal here? 450. What is the interest here? 81. So, first of all, if 100% is a 450, what about 81? 81 will be of what percentage? Please find it out. 100% why? Because interest I will get. 100% is 450. What about 81? 81. What you will get? If you were able to identify it, good. If not, cross multiply it, as I have already told you. X. So 100 into 81 is equal to x into 450. Now please see here, 0 0 get cancels. This is 5 times. 9 5s are, here it is 9 times. 2 ones, 2 5s. Sorry, 5 ones, 5 2s. So x value will become how much here for me? 18. 18. That means 18% of principal. This 18 is equal to what, students, here? This 18 is equal to nothing but TR. This 18 is nothing but TR. Already they given. What is the rate of interest they given for us? 4.5%. That means T into 4.5 is equal to 18. T into 4.5 is equal to 18. 4.5 ones, 4.5 fours. So time period is equal to what here? 4 years. Time period is equal to what for us here? 4 years. 4 years is the time period for us in this case. 4 years. Now see here students, understand carefully why I have written 100% as 450. Why? Because my total principal or the sum which he borrowed here is how much? 450. That is 100%. That is 100%. And then interest means what? TR percentage. So first of all I found 81 is what percentage of principal? 81 is 18% of principal. 18% of principal. Okay. Now this TR is equal to 18 and I simply calculated this one. See students, you may think that sir, instead of this our earlier PTR by 100 it is very easy. Okay. I accept for this question both the methods will take more or less the same time. But what happens if you try to learn the concept in this method means it will be easy for us and you will be used to this method, and later when a difficult problems comes also you will feel very comfortable. That is the reason we are not at all touching that PTR by 100 logic. We are using only this concept. Okay. The only reason here is you should be used to this practice so that later for the difficult problems also you will apply it very quickly. Okay. Right. Next one. Gautam took a loan of rupees 1200 with simple interest for as many as years at the rate of interest. Okay. That means here both my time period and rate of interest, what we can say, numerical values are equal. Okay. If she paid rupees 432 as interest at the end of the loan period, what was the rate of interest? What was the rate of interest here? Now see here, what is the principal? That is 1200. What is the interest he paid? Rupees 432. Principal here is 1200 and what is the interest he paid back here? 432 rupees. Okay, good. Now please find out if 100%, that means principal is 1200. What about 432? 432 is what percentage? From here to here, right? What is happening from here to here? Divided by 12, right? From here to here. Or else if you check like this also, but here from 1200 to 100, how it becomes? Divided by 12. Similarly here also, from here to here, what you should do? Divide it with 12. 432 by 12. 432 by 12, what you will get here? 3. 12 3s are 36. I will be left with 72 means 36. That means what I got now? TR percentage is equal to what in this case? 36%, right? TR percentage is equal to what? 36%. And they are telling that here the rate of interest as many as years as that one. So here the numerical value of the duration and rate of interest both are same. For timing, let us assume both are A. So what happens to this one in this case? A square is equal to 36. Why? Because A into A is equal to 36. Why I am not taking T is equal to R or R is equal to T means actually when you see the physical quantities they are not equal. Why? Because time period is of different units, rate of interest is of different units, but their numerical value are equal. That is the reason I have taken it as A. A square is equal to 36. So what happens to A here? 6. So anyway, the rate of interest will be 6% per annum and time period will be 6 years. So what will be our answer here? 6. Understood students? 6 will be our answer. So whenever you have the interest, if they give you the interest, please find out that interest is what percentage of principal. If 100% is 1200, generally what we will do? TR percentage, right? TR means what here? This one. TR percentage became how much here? 36. 36. So 36%. So simple, 36. Here both are equal means you should get a perfect square, then only you will get the answers easily. Square root of 36, what it is? 6. Okay. Next one. A person lent certain sum of money at 5% per annum simple interest, and in 15 years the interest amounted to rupees 250 less than the sum lent. Please see here, 15 years the interest amounted to, that means the interest is equal to what in this case? Interest is equal to what they are telling? Principal minus 250. These 250 less than the sum lent. First of all, please tell me what is the interest you need to pay here? 5% per annum for 15 years. 5% per annum for 15 years. What is the interest you need to pay? 15 5s are 75% of principal. Right? 75% of principal. Am I correct? That means what happens to this equation now? 75% of principal is equal to, Okay, P minus 250. From this, if I send this 75% to this side and 250 to this side, what happens to this equation? 250 is equal to P minus 75% of P. P means what, students? 100% of P. 100% of P minus 75% of P, what it becomes? 250 is equal to 25% of P. 25% of P. Now you have 25% of P, directly you can write, or take it as 100% and try to find it. It is waste of time. In this case, directly we will try to find. So what I can write is as 250 is equal to 25 by 100 into P. Why? Because to remove the percentile symbol, what I need to divide it with 100. So 25 ones, 25 tens. So what is the principal here? 1000 rupees. That means how much you have taken as a loan? 1000 rupees. 1000 rupees is our answer in this case. Understood, students? Very simple. You should understand the concept and you need to try to solve it. Here, interest amounted to, simple interest and 15 years, the interest amounted, don't get confused by these words. Why? Because here they will use the words like sum, SUM sum, sometimes amount. Here amount means we know that principal plus interest, but what he is telling, interest amounted to. Interest amounted to. Interest means interest became some money. 200 less than the sum he lent. Sum he lent means less than his principal. So interest is equal to P minus 250 and we have done the remaining process. Is it clear for everyone? Why I have taken interest as 75% of P? Why? Because here rate of interest is 5% and duration is 15 years. 15 5s are 75. Understood? Right. We will move to the next one. A person lent certain sum of money at 9.5% per annum simple interest in 40 years and the interest amounted to 22,400 more than the sum he lent. Same concept. That means what it is? Interest is equal to, please pause the video and try to solve it, students. Everyone make a try. Pause the video and try to solve it. Interest will become what in this case? Principal plus 22400. Why? Because he is saying that interest amounted to 22,400 more than the sum he lent. Okay, I have written the relation between interest and principal. Okay, now what is the interest? Generally you should get 9.5% in 40 years. So 9.5 into 40. 9.5 into 40, what it becomes? 9.5 into 40% of P generally. So what happens to this one? 95 4s are 95 2s are 190, 190 2s are 380. So that means 380% of principal. Okay, now we will substitute the same thing here, this thing here. So what happens to this? 380% of principal is equal to P plus 22,400. That means if I send P to this side, it will become what? Minus 100% of P. Overall it becomes what? Okay, I will write it. 380% of P minus, if I send P to this side, that is what? 100% of P is equal to 22,400. Okay, so now what happens to this? 280% of P is equal to 22,400. What actually they are asking us to find? What was the sum he lent? Okay, so therefore 100% of P is how much? 100% of P is how much? So what happens to this one, students? 28 into 8 is 224 and 1010 get cancelled and I have a 0. Okay, so 100 into 80. So what it is? 8,000. That means he took 8,000. He took 8,000 rupees. 8,000 rupees. Understood, students? If you are able to identify it, good. If not, already I told you how you will do. Take it as x and cross multiply it. Okay, you will get the answer. Understood? The only thing is here we need to write the relation between the principal interest. Okay, right. Next one. A sum of money amounts to rupees 9,800 after 5 years and 12,005 after 8 years at the same rate of simple interest. The rate of simple interest per annum is. Now see here, students. I want to discuss you one property, one important property regarding this simple interest. The important property is the interest remains constant throughout the duration. This is one important note. That means, for example, in case of simple interest, if the rate of interest is same, then for every year the interest which will be paid will be same. That means for 6 years, for example, you paid an interest, overall interest as 1200 means every year you are paying 200, 200, 200. That means, so like this, that is one concept. Remember that one. Now come to this one. Amounts to how much? 5 years and some at same rate of simple interest, the rate % per annum is. Now see here students. What is the difference between this 5 years amount and this 8 years amount? 8 years amount is what here? 12,005. What is 5 years amount? What is 5 years amount? It is 9,800. It is 9,800. Now please tell me what will be the difference between these two? The difference between these two is nothing but the interest earned. Okay, interest earned for 3 years, right? And for 3 years. Tell me what is the interest earned for 3 years in this case, students? 12,005 minus 9,800. 9,800. Okay, that is the interest earned for 3 years, right? Why? Because here what you will write? Amount means principal plus interest on 8 years. Here what you will write? Amount means principal plus interest on 5 years. Okay, right? So now what happens to this one? Here 200, so 2005 means 2,205 rupees. 2,205 rupees is the interest earned for 3 years. 3 years. Okay, now tell me what will be the interest earned for 1 year? And for 1 year, what will be the interest earned for 1 year? For 3 years it is 2,205. Already I told you, in the simple interest case, the interest remains constant throughout the duration. So for 1 year, how much it will become? 2,205 by 3. 735 rupees. That means every year he will earn how much interest here? 735 rupees. 735 rupees. Now, what is the amount in 5 years? 9,800, right? So generally, you can take the help of this one or this one. Anyway, this number is smaller one. We will go with that one. Now tell me, what will be the interest earned for 5 years? What will be the interest earned for 5 years? 735 into 5. Actually students, if you are really good and if you are able to understand, for 3 years it is 22,005. For 5 years how much? You can take cross multiply there itself. But for your understanding, I have already found the interest earned for 1 year also. Actually you can write 3 years it is 2205. 5 years is equal to some x. Like that also you can do it. Okay, no problem. Anyway, we are here. So 5 5s are 25, 5 3s are 15 and 2 17, next 36. So how much interest you need to pay? 3675. 3675. So now from this what I can say? This one, from this amount. Amount is equal to principal plus interest. What is the amount here? 9,800. What is the principal? We don't know for time being. Plus what is the interest here? 3675. 3675. Now tell me what will be the interest here for us? 800 minus 675, it will become 125. So principal here will become 6,125 rupees. 6,125 rupees. Okay. Now we got the principal. Okay. We have the interest for 5 years or we have the interest for 1 year. Now we need to find the rate of interest. Now we need to find the rate of interest. See here, 6125 is the principal. And for 1 year, the interest is how much? This is helpful now. For 1 year, what is the interest we are paying? Interest paying for 1 year is how much? 735. Now simply observe, this 735 is what percent of principal? See here, if you observe here, please observe the options. For example, I will assume it as 10%. 10% means it would have become how much? 612.5, right? But what it is? 735. That means my answers are definitely not this 5% and 8%. So there is only chance for 12% and 15%. Check these two values. So 12% of 6125 will become how much? 12% of 6125 will become how much? Solve it, or else 15%. So what you will get here? I think it is equal to 12% only. 12%. Approximately it will be equal to some 12%. 12%. Understood? In this manner, we are going to find the answer. 12% will be the answer. If you have any doubt, you can check. 12% of 6125. 10% is 612.5. Okay. 1% is 61.25. One more 0, right? So 61.25 into 2 means it will become how much? 122.5. If you add this one, what you will get? 735. You will get 735. Understood? Same thing. So our answer here will become 12%. This is the method to find the answer for this type. It will take some time, but the process is this one. Okay. Here the logic is the interest remains constant throughout the duration. That is the logic which we will take. Next one. That's it, students. In our next session, we will see some more important concepts. I mean questions from the simple interest. These are the basic type of questions. Next, we will see the difficult questions in our next session. Thank you. Thank you very much.